These are my concessions.
Blue Beetle. You can watch in theaters right now. So I had minimal expectations of this film going in. It is a DCEU film that has it centers on a Mexican kid. Is he Mexican? I should probably double check that before I say that. Is Blue Beetle Mexican? He is Mexican. Okay, thank God. All right, it's about a Mexican kid who ends up turning into a superhero with an alien scarab that gets into him and turns him into the Blue Beetle. And the suit is very similar to Tom Holland's Spider-Man that he got from Iron Man, where there's a voice in his head. And it is a wild movie. It's very, very good. It is popping. I'm going to tell you right now, but let me tell you why I love it so much. Any story can be great. It's about how you tell the story. And this film is a prime example of that. The script was extremely formulaic and only until he got the suit. Everything was like, we got to help our family. He gets like this barrage of news within 1 minute. And that's, oh, we sold the family business. Oh, because your dad just had a heart attack. Oh, and we lost the house. Like, it's a bunch of bad news that's going on to this kid who's just trying to help his family, but his family doesn't want him to help because they want him to focus on going to college. And, you know, it's a pretty good story. It's just nothing you haven't seen before until he puts on the suit. Or should I say the suit goes into him. It'll make more sense when you see the film. It is crazy and violent and scary. And Mike Deere said it was Cronenbergian. I don't know if I agree, but it is very horrific. I think this director needs to do horror movies. But from there on, the movie was awesome. I was smiling cheek to cheek. This kid is very, very good at acting like he's scared all the time. And like when he puts on the suit, he goes into the air and starts flying. And the way he flies is like with force, not just like regular Superman. And I'm going to get shit for saying that. But it's wild, dude. Blue Beetle is such a badass character and a badass superhero that does basically anything that you can think of. And I am very glad that he's part of the DCEU that James Gunn's going to do. And I think the point of Jamie Reyes freaking out is super awesome. Even his flying was crazy. The sister's point of view was really good. That actress did a very good job. George Lopez, hilarious, super dope to be in this. The family is Blue Beetle's team in this movie. It's not just, oh, my family's in dire need. The family is in peril sometimes, but they are also part of the team that actually helps Jamie or Blue Beetle defeat crime, especially the Nana. She's hilarious. The cinematography is excellent. Probably my favorite part of the movie. And yeah, it was popping or not. It was one of my favorite DCEU films, if not my favorite DCEU film. And I'm very happy that James Gunn has already announced that this character will be in his universe. So check it out in theaters. Take your kids. It's fun for everybody, and no bullshit. It's really, really good. Just formulaic, but it's done very well. Love it. Strays, the R-rated, raunchy, and disgusting comedy that stars the voices of Will Ferrell, Jamie Foxx, Randall Park, and a fourth person that I haven't looked up yet. This movie was overall funny. I just noticed that no one in the theater was really laughing as much. I was laughing, but not many people, other people were. Some parts were better than others, and half the jokes were just referencing jokes that happened earlier. Like there's a gnome scene that happens that's hilarious, but it's referenced like 4 different times, and it kind of ruins the original joke, which is kind of a bummer. And the trailer showed this whole movie. It showed it in order. So there's so many scenes. There's so many quiet movie theater scenes in this movie because everyone saw the scenes in the fucking previews. Hulu's been playing advertisements for this movie like crazy. There's a cameo from a certain actor that I will not say that would have been hilarious had I not known he was going to show up. It's the whole point of cameos, guys. I haven't looked up the numbers, but box office numbers aren't doing good this weekend, and Strays is no exception. Do I think you should partake in the box office by seeing this film? See Blue Beetle instead. If you're interested in watching this movie, check it out on streaming. I would say go see it in a full theater, but no one's going to see this movie because there's some wild shit that happens. It's really, really funny, but it's also some shit that's just gross. Overall, slightly popping. There are some kernels in there. But if they made a Strays 2, I guess I would see it. It also helps that Will Ferrell's fucking dope. Back on the Strip stars Tiffany Haddish, Wesley Snipes. Even though they're not the true stars of the film, it stars someone I don't know, but also who's in it is JB Smoove, Faison Love. I don't remember this guy's name. What is it? What is it? It is Kevin Hart's in one scene, by the way. The poster says he's in the movie. No, he's only in one scene. What the fuck is this guy's name? He's not even showing up on here. Bill Bellamy. I knew it was Bill something. So, poppin' or not, this movie was directed by a guy who did a lot of episodes of Real Husbands of Hollywood. Real Husbands of Hollywood is a hilarious show, but you can tell that show is just about having fun and not caring too much about the end product. Again, not calling it a bad show. It's just a show that they don't care too much about. This movie, I'm sure they worked hard on it, but they could have done a little better with it. There's a lot of scenes that weren't that funny. Tiffany Haddish just plays a really, really horny mom, which is funny, but it's like every punchline is like, and he fucked me in the ass. You know what I'm talking about. There's even a scene where she says he came into my back door, and he goes, but mom, we don't have a back door. And she stares at the camera for an excessive amount of time. You don't need to stare in the camera, Tiffany. We know what you're saying. You don't have to do that. You're ruining the joke. I thought it was pretty funny until you stared at the camera. Faison Love, I'm a big fan of, so it was really cool seeing him again. And JB Smoove is fucking hilarious. I do think that they reined him in when they could have had more of him. There are some scenes that I was cracking up laughing. I will say Strays was funnier than this movie, and I don't recommend seeing this one in theaters. You can wait for it on streaming. The main storyline is about this kid that's trying to be a magician that does it through stripping. He tries to make it big in Las Vegas by stripping in Vegas first. That's what it's about. Tiffany Haddish plays the mom. Wesley Snipes plays the head of a old strip club team that were big 20 years ago and disbanded, and he wants to get them back together again. That storyline is funny. They could have done a lot more with that, but it seemed like their focus was a little too far with the kid. And I understand that this is from the kid's point of view and he has his own story, but a story about a magician achieving his dreams isn't as funny as a kid being with a bunch of old ass male strippers. So I think if they would have leveled out that comedy a little more, it would have hit more. But besides that, there are some funny scenes in this, and I would recommend watching on streaming if you don't ever have anything to do, but wait for it to be on Netflix or something. I wouldn't pay